Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Let me jump right back into it, right? Because I want y'all to know what happened with this particular guy, David, right? So David, he ended up, you know what I'm saying, he got 25 for the second degree. You feel what I'm saying? But he's mad at every individual involved in the situation. His seller, you know what I'm saying? The dude that was listening next door, the jury, the judge, the DA, everybody. He's mad at, upset, pissed off at the world. Pissed off at the world. But he ends up, when he gets back to prison, right? He in the cell one night. And he's thinking about getting high. And he talking to his cellie about what happened. Because see, now, he ain't got no reason to hold it in. He ain't got no secrets. But it's coming out the wrong way. It's coming out in a negative way. He trying to blame everybody for what happened to him. And his cellie hit him with something real keen, right? Real keen. And it's not like he hadn't heard this before, but when his cellie told him, you know what I'm saying, that all that was on him, it kind of stunned him. Cause see, he ain't really just had nobody break him off like that. See, cause he was in the cell with somebody that had 2 life sentences plus a dirty 30, right? Wasn't never going home. And when I say 2 life sentences, I'm talking about the type of life sentence you don't get out. Life sentences without parole. So he didn't really want to hear somebody hooping and hollering and crying about the circumstances that they found themselves in because he was high and running his mouth. Beyond that, he didn't want to hear nothing out of somebody's mouth that wasn't owning it and taking responsibility. See, a lot of y'all misunderstand a lot of people in the penitentiary, right? Saying that we crying about this, crying about that. It's a lot of crying to be going on. Don't get it twisted, right? Don't get it twisted. And a lot of the injustices that happen, you know, everybody know, you know, if you poll, all of these different types of things happen. But for the most part, man, I'm going to keep it real. Even within the organization, for the most part, the guys that I was around, they owned it. Now, they're not going to tell the judge that. They're not going to tell the people that they hurt that. But they owned it. They owned it. Because once it's done, it's done. And one of the ways that you could sleep at night, you got to own it. You got to own it. Now, that further step that I think everybody should take, but everybody has to do it on their own, is full responsibility, is making an attempt to apologize to the people that you hurt. Even if it's just between you and God. Say you sorry for what you did and mean it. But see, David didn't do that. He was still in this place of woe is me. And not realizing that some people don't want to hear that. Because some people's situation, their own doing, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to make excuses, were way worse than his. And he happened to be in the cell with somebody who was like it. But that didn't stop David from always talking about this and about that, right? So now, he in the cell with somebody that just don't want to hear it, and he shut him down. So David, he out on the rock. He telling everybody his business. How folks snitched on him and he ain't straight, and the dude that told on him that was listening through the wall, he ain't straight. All that old kind of stuff. He got the case on appeal and he fighting it. They're going to have to throw it out because he was under the influence when he said these things. Not that they were true or nothing like that. It's just that he was under the influence when he said it. So he was trying to say, if you under the influence, how can you be held accountable for anything that you say or do? They do it all the time. It's people in the penitentiary that for hurting or killing somebody or robbing or raping somebody when they were drunk or high. They do it all the time. Because even though you might be under the influence, that does not excuse you from the responsibility that you have as a citizen. You chose to drink. You chose to get high. You chose to do these things. And then when you do these things and something happens, right, you want to say that you shouldn't be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. It's not true. If you make a conscious decision to drink and drive, anything that happens after that, that's on you. If you make a conscious decision like David did to get high on K2 and get to running his mouth, you're going to be held responsible for what come out your mouth. It's as simple as that. But check this out. See, that night, And subsequent nights after that, David sleeping like a log. He ain't even recognizing what's going on. He waking up feeling refreshed and all that. He still got a little monk on his back. You know what I'm saying? But he feeling a little different. See, that weight that he was carrying around, that secret that he had inside him, he didn't have to carry that no more. He didn't have to hide it. Yeah, of course he was venting in the wrong way, but he didn't have his secret on. He didn't have his weight on him no more. He didn't have it on him. See, and sometimes, stuff will come out. The truth will come out. And when it come out, you know what I'm saying, sometimes it don't come out like a confession. Nah. At least that's not how you mean it. It's an unburdening. See, he was high. But what he don't see in this is that this is something that he's been wanting to get out. All this time. He been wanting to let this loose. Just like you see somebody, I know y'all got people out there to be getting drunk and all that. Then they get to talking about everything that they did and all this thing. Because they wanna let it out. But see, that alcohol, it lowers their inhibitions and then they just get to talking. It was the same with David. But he don't see that. He wanted to confess. It's just like when serial killers get caught, they tell you they glad they got caught. They wanted it out. They wanted people to know so they could sleep. Do you understand how serious it is where you just can't sleep? Because you worried about something. You worried about something that you've been holding in for years and sometimes decades. That's just hard on you. And David didn't see that. So his cellie started messing with him and telling him, look, you can sleep at night now, can't you? He started pointing things out to him. And he started, in his own way ministering to him and telling him, say, look, man, now that it's out, stop blaming everybody. Take responsibility and own it. Own it. You did something that you shouldn't have done, man. You tore somebody's family apart. I remember when I had to get to that point. It hurt like the dickens, man. Listen to me, man. You never had that cry where you take a deep breath and then don't nothing come out? That's how it was. I was like, what did I do? What did I do? I'm talking about when it really hits you as to what you've done and how you've hurt people and just flip their family upside down. When you do that, it's like a ball to be inside of your gut. It's just churning. But you got to own it. You have to own it. You got to say that you're sorry for it. Because if you don't, whether you get to say it to the victim's family or not, you got to say it to God. You got to. You got to give that to him so that you can find peace. Cut ties with all of that pain that you're feeling. You got to cut ties with it and stop blaming everybody that participated in your trial and thank them. I know, yeah, you heard me right. You like, Joe T, you tripping. Thank the people that testified against you. Thank the people that prosecuted you. Are you serious? No, listen, I'm on another level. I'm on another level. Imagine if I don't ever get to that point. Imagine if I'm never held responsible for the pain that I caused. What kind of person would I be? Would you be listening to me now say these types of things? Probably not. Think about that. What type of person would you be if you never were held accountable for what you do? Think about the people in your life that's always doing something and always get away. What do you say about them? What do you think about them? Be honest, man. Come on now. Every time you see them coming, you got something negative to say because you don't want to be around them because they never really get held accountable for what they do. They always getting over on somebody and you tired of it. Because you always got to be held accountable. You always want to do the right thing. You saying, why not them? Why not them? And that's what would happen if a person is never held accountable. Yeah. I know that's hard for you to understand, but don't let it be. You can choose to understand that. You can choose to understand that. Because see, sometimes, man, it's like it's here. When the soul gets too tired to keep something locked up, it's going to find a way to get free. It's going to find a way to get free. And in his case, it happened to be when he got high. See, he's looking at that whole scenario in the wrong way. He needs to look at it as freedom. He's free now. That burden that he was carrying, he ain't got to carry no more. Think about that. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.